So today we'll be talking about amendment to the Indian Constitution, and we have three kind of amendment. First one is those constitutional provision which are comparatively of less significance, and they can be amended by the simple legislative process as adopted in passing ordinary legislation in Parliament. Second one, those provision which are material and vital and are made relatively stable, as these can be amended only by the following the rule of special majority as laid down in Article 368. Third one, there are certain constitutional provisions which are related to federal character and that may be characterized as the entrenched provision, which need for their amendment in addition to the passage of amending bill by the special majority in two House of Parliament and the ratification by half of the state legislature. This procedure is also there in Article 368 of the Constitution. So, first of all, I'll talk about category 1. So, in category 1, there are several articles of the Constitution make provision of a tentative nature. What is the meaning of tentative nature? Anyone?
may change.
Sir, the
Yes.
temporary.
Yeah, kind of temporary. Yes, Kuneep. And Parliament has been given power to make laws making provision different from what this article provides for. And such a law can be made by the ordinary legislative process, which I have already told you, and it is not to be regarded as an amendment to the Constitution and is not subject to special procedure prescribed in Article 368. Listen it carefully, that it will not regarded as an amendment of the Constitution, though it is amendment in the Constitution, but we will not say it is amendment of the Constitution. Remember one thing. Second thing, it is not subject to the special procedure that is prescribed in Article 368. So in most of the cases, the constitutional text remains intact, but what Parliament does, it makes different provision. And I'm going to tell you those articles of the Constitution. So actually, the first one we'll start with Article 2. So when Parliament admits a new state under Article 2, it can effect consequential amendment in Schedule 1 and Schedule 4, defining territory and allocating seats in the Rajya Sabha amongst the various states respectively. So if there is any amendment under Article 2, then which schedule will be affected? Which schedule will be affected?
7.
No.
Sir, 1 and 4.
Yeah, that's what I have said right now. 1 and 4. Why 1? What does Schedule 1 talk about?
Sir, union.
Yes. And what does 4 talk about?
Rajya Sabha.
Yes, a Rajya Sabha seat. And now there is, so note down Article 2. And which article says that Parliament is empowered to make laws regarding Article 1 to 3? Anyone? Article
5, I think so.
5?
No, 4.
अच्छा पक्का 4?
Sir, 4 says that that will not be counted as constitutional amendment.
Yes. So 4 says that if Parliament is making any law with regard to these things, then it will not count it as an amendment. Okay. आप लोग थोड़ा थोड़ा याद करना शुरू कर दो, ये कुछ एक स्टार्टिंग की एटलीस्ट यू शुड नो एटलीस्ट फर्स्ट 50 आर्टिकल्स, इतना तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कम से कम, ठीक है. सो फर्स्ट 50 आर्टिकल्स तो करो ही, उसके बाद में भी जो थोड़े बहुत हैं उनको भी करना है. अच्छा, टेल मी अबाउट आर्टिकल 11. Not Animes, you. Someone else. Sakshi, you tell me.
So parliament to regulate citizenship.
Okay, Monica, go ahead. Yes, Monica, tell me. Yes, anyone? Am I audible?
हेलो
Yes,
सर.
sir.
Yes, yes, Monica, go ahead.
सर सॉरी वो नेटवर्क चला गया था.
अच्छा अच्छा.
सर पार्लियामेंट टू रेगुलेट सिटीजनशिप बाय लॉ.
Okay. So, does it include Article 5 to 10 or not? I'm saying that if under article, uh, does it include Article 5 to 10 or not?
यस सर.
Pakka?
सर 5 to 10 also talk about citizenship.
Yes.
Sir,
So
actually,
it's
11 talks about nothing in the above part, like from 5 to 10, shall
hmm.
prevent Parliament from making laws for citizenship. So, and that is talking about 5 to 10 also.
Yeah. So basically, in one sense, it is excluding 5 to 10. It is saying that under Article 11, Parliament has given exclusive power to make law with regard to acquisition and termination of citizenship. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And can you tell me the name of that Citizenship Act which came for acquisition and termination of citizenship?
Sir, 1955.
Yes, Citizenship Act of 1955. So Parliament has enacted this law under Article 11 only. Okay. Now another provision is Article 73. So all these Article 2, Article 11, Article 73 2. So whatever changes Parliament make, these will not be considered as amendment to the Constitution. So remember this thing. Though they are amendment, but they will not be considered amendment under the Constitution, and they will not fall under Article 368. Article 73 2. So what does it say? Anyone? कल मैंने बताया था आपको 73 2 के बारे में.
Sir, Parliament can make laws for state executive, basically.
Hmm. Anyone else? कोई थोड़ा बहुत और डिटेल दे. It talks about executive power of the union. ठीक है. और अनिमेश एक आपको याद हो एक क्वेश्चन आया था डायरेक्ट इसी के ऊपर
Yes, sir.
है ना.
Yes, sir. 2018 and 19.
एकदम. हाँ 2018 या 2019 में. So basically it talks about extent of executive power of the union. Article 73. So 73 has two part, A and B. So A says that uh, that so, so you need to understand first one, and first part, this clause 1 says that subject to the provision of this constitution, the executive power of the union shall extend. Subject to the provision of this constitution means anyone, if you can explain this thing. If I say that Article 73 is unrestricted. Do you agree with this?
No, sir.
Yeah, why?
Sir, it says that it should be subject to the proviso of the Constitution, means that what all the Constitution allows, the executive can take decision on that matter. It cannot
Yes.
go above that.
Yeah, exactly. So it says subject to the provision of this constitution, and the executive power of the union shall extend to the matters with respect to which parliament has power to make law. So first one, that the union government has the executive power with regard to those matters on which parliament can legislate. First thing, it's quite clear. A. Second thing, to the exercise of such right, authority, and jurisdiction as are exercisable by the Government of India by virtue of any treaty or agreement. So, say for example, if there is any treaty or any agreement, then Parliament, then Government of India has the power to exercise such kind of right, authority, and jurisdiction. Okay, so these are two things you need to remember. And Article 73(2). 73(2) say until otherwise provided by Parliament. मतलब आपको समझ में आया है इसकी मीनिंग क्या है? What is the meaning of until otherwise provided by Parliament? Anyone?
Till Parliament makes some provisions regarding that.
या अगर पार्लियामेंट ने कुछ और प्रोविजन बनाया है, ठीक है, a state and any officer or authority of a state may notwithstanding anything in this article continue to exercise in matters with respect to which parliament has power to make laws for that state such executive power or function as the state or officer or authority thereof could exercise immediately before the constitution before the commencement of this constitution. So I am reading it directly from the Berect. All right, so you can go through the Berect and try to understand Berect also, because these days Berect is very important. UPSC directly ask question from Berect, and if you are unable to understand the language of Berect, then it's going to be little bit difficult to understand question also if it is asked in UPSC. Okay, third provision is related to Article 59(3), 75(6).
Hello, sir.
हाँ निमेश.
Sir, you said that 73 is the matter of simple majority, right?
73(2).
Okay, but actually in Lakshmikant it was given that extent of executive power of union and state shall be the special majority with the consent of states. So was that talking about only 73(1)?
किसमें?
सर
हाँ,
लक्ष्मीकांत में ना.
लक्ष्मीकांत जो है वो आपको क्या आप फिर से बोलना एक बार?
सर उसमें ना ये लिखा हुआ है कि एक्सटेंट ऑफ एग्जीक्यूटिव पावर ऑफ यूनियन एंड स्टेट्स shall be decided by special majority of parliament and consent of state. तो उसमें जो ये extent of executive power of union बोल रहा है that is 73(1) और covering 73 as a whole.
अभी 73 तो मैं तो ऐसा कुछ लिखा ही नहीं है. 73 में तो एक प्रोविजो है और वो प्रोविजो कहती है 73(1) की प्रोविजो है वो. 73(2) तो मैंने आपके लिए पढ़ ही दिया है, ठीक है. सो इट डजंट टॉक अबाउट 73(2). if it is saying, then it is talking about 73(1). So 73(1) का proviso है. It says that provided that the executive power referred to in subclause A. Subclause A means to the matter with respect to which Parliament has power to make laws, shall not say as expressly provided in this Constitution or in any law made by Parliament, extend in any state to matters with respect to which the legislature of a state has also power to make laws. Simply it says this, it doesn't talk about anything else. बाकी जो चीजें हैं ना कि स्टेट का इन्वॉल्वमेंट होगा या नहीं होगा, ये बहुत सिंपल बोलता है कि जो पार्लियामेंट की एग्जीक्यूटिव पावर है उसके बारे में.
No,
पता
sir,
नहीं लक्ष्मी.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Yeah, the statement which you are saying now, the extent of executive power of union and state, वो Article 246 है. So that's talk about union and state. Article 73, it is only the extent of executive power of union.
अच्छा ओके।
हाँ, जिस चीज के लिए आप कह रहे थे कि वो तो है सब्जेक्ट मैटर ऑफ लॉज मेड बाय पार्लियामेंट बाय द लेजिस्लेचर ऑफ स्टेट्स, 246 बोलता है। बट हम लोग तो जो है वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द एक्सटेंट ऑफ एग्जीक्यूटिव पावर ऑफ द यूनियन। ये शायद हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया था ना, 246 वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड।
हाँ हाँ सर, एक्चुअली 246 इज अबाउट सब्जेक्ट मैटर मेड बाय पार्लियामेंट एंड लेजिस्लेचर ऑफ स्टेट, बट 246 में एक्सटेंट ऑफ
तो
एग्जीक्यूटिव
तो
पावर ऑफ यूनियन एंड स्टेट्स कहाँ पर है?
246 में नहीं है। 246 में तो देखो इट सिंपली से सब्जेक्ट मैटर, मतलब जो हमारी लिस्ट है ना, इट टॉक्स अबाउट लिस्ट। ठीक है,
यस सर।
जो आपका की कंकरेंट लिस्ट पे है और जो यूनियन लिस्ट है उस पर कर सकता है, और ये सब 246 में ये सब बातचीत होती है। ठीक है, सब्जेक्ट मैटर ऑफ लॉ मेड बाय पार्लियामेंट एंड बाय द लेजिस्लेचर ऑफ स्टेट। ये सिंपली बात कहता है कि स्टेट कौन से लॉज बना सकता है और पार्लियामेंट किस मैटर पे लॉ बना सकता है 246 में।
लेकिन
अब
जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ वो एक्सटेंट ऑफ एग्जीक्यूटिव पावर की बात कर रहा हूँ।
हाँ, तो एक्सटेंट ऑफ एग्जीक्यूटिव, हाँ
Sorry, for
नेहा,
240, 245 है, 246 नहीं, 245 extent of power of parliament and state legislature.
no, no, no,
No, that is
that
also
is
legislature.
that is extent of laws made by the parliament and by the legislature of state. So basically एक तरीके से वो jurisdiction की बात करता है कि पार्लियामेंट के लॉज का जो एक्सटेंट होगा, jurisdiction होगा, वो कहाँ तक होगा, एंड जो स्टेट के लॉज हैं उनका jurisdiction कहाँ तक होगा, उनका एक्सटेंट क्या होगा। So 245 says this thing and 246 tells about the subject, कौन कौन से सब्जेक्ट पर, on which subject they can legislate. But 73 talks about extent of executive power of the union, कि यूनियन का जो एग्जीक्यूटिव पावर है यूनियन गवर्नमेंट का, वो कहां कहां तक जा सकता है। तो सिंपल हो गया कि ये दो केसेस हैं इसमें। फर्स्ट केस, दोज मैटर्स इन विच पार्लियामेंट हैज पावर टू मेक लॉज। ठीक है, ये तो बहुत मतलब क्वाइट, इट्स अ क्वाइट क्लियर थिंग।
सर तो जो फर्स्ट है
मैं
that does
वही
not
उसी पे आ रहा हूं, मैं मतलब उसी को डिस्कस कर रहा हूं। ठीक है, सो इट टॉक्स अबाउट executive power of the union and it says that it shall extend to the matters with respect to which parliament has power to make laws. So there are certain matters, say for example union list। ठीक है, parliament सबको पता है, we know that parliament can legislate on union list, right? So in these matters the union has executive power, clear cut, okay? Then parliament can legislate on concurrent list also, right? So they have union government has power on these subjects also. Now that is exceptional case in which is in state list also parliament can legislate provided that state request। Are you getting कि स्टेट उनसे जो है रिक्वेस्ट करे पार्लियामेंट से, दो या दो ज्यादा मिलके स्टेट रिक्वेस्ट करें तो पार्लियामेंट उस पर भी बना सकती है लॉज। क्लियर इतना? अभी सेकंड वाला प्रोविजन है वो इतना रेलेवेंट नहीं है। सेकंड वाला प्रोविजन सेज दैट इफ देयर वी नो दैट इफ देयर इज एनी ट्रीटी और एग्रीमेंट एंड गवर्नमेंट हैज टू एक्सरसाइज, गवर्नमेंट हैज टू so if government has to do anything then it's the union government which can exercise its power with regard to any treaty or agreement। All right, so second one is not relevant, that much relevant here। It's a very simple thing कि अगर भारत सरकार ने कोई एग्रीमेंट या ट्रीटी की है तो उस पर यूनियन गवर्नमेंट ही पावर अपने एक्सरसाइज कर सकती है। सिंपल हो गया। अब ये नाउ व्हाट डज इट से, देयर इज अ प्रोविजो। प्रोविजो मतलब एक एक्स्ट्रा प्रोविजन है, ठीक है, जो और थोड़ी सी क्लैरिटी प्रोवाइड करता है। सो इट सेज प्रोवाइडेड दैट द एग्जीक्यूटिव पावर referred to in subclause A shall not, save as expressly provided in this constitution or in any law made by parliament, shall not extend in any state. आप समझ रहे हो अनिमेश क्या कह रहा है? ये कह रहा है कि जो हम लोग बात कर रहे थे कि दोज मैटर्स वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस 73(1)(a). सो इट सेज दैट यू जो पार्लियामेंट जिन मैटर्स पे लेजिस्लेट कर सकती है, स्टेट हैज द सॉरी यूनियन गवर्नमेंट हैज द पावर ऑन दैट थिंग, राइट? नाउ इट्स द प्रोविजो says that इन सब्जेक्ट को छोड़ के अगर पार्लियामेंट ने कुछ एक्सप्रेसली लॉ बनाया है तो ठीक है, अदरवाइज पार्लियामेंट की 73(1)(a) के अंदर जो पावर है दैट विल नॉट बी एप्लीकेबल, दैट विल नॉट एप्लीकेबल इन स्टेट्स। इतना क्लियर हो गया?
यस सर।
अब कौन से मैटर में कहता है? वो ऐसे मैटर में इन दोज मैटर्स इन विच स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर आल्सो हैज द पावर टू लेजिस्लेट। सो मोस्टली इट इज टॉकिंग अबाउट कंकरेंट लिस्ट। समझ गए आप?
यस
मोस्टली अगर आप इसकी लैंग्वेज से जाओगे सो इट्स टॉकिंग अबाउट कंकरेंट लिस्ट। अब जैसे आप एक कोई सब्जेक्ट बताओ कंकरेंट लिस्ट का, हेल्थ हो गया, हेल्थ कंकरेंट लिस्ट में ही है ना?
हाँ, एजुकेशन, हेल्थ,
एजुकेशन हो गया।
फॉरेस्ट।
अभी क्या है कि जैसे गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया हेल्थ पॉलिसी लेके आती है या एजुकेशन पॉलिसी लेके आती है, ठीक है? अब एजुकेशन पॉलिसी लेके पार्लियामेंट लेकर आई, पार्लियामेंट ने एक लॉ बनाया एजुकेशन के ऊपर। नाउ पार्लियामेंट इज मेकिंग लॉ, देयरफॉर यूनियन गवर्नमेंट हैज द पावर टू एक्चुअली implement those laws simply. Now same laws on education, on same subject, on each and everything is same, state government is also making. Then the law made by the central government shall not be applicable in state government. That's what it is saying. Until and unless parliament provides for the same. या तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में ऐसा प्रोवाइड किया जाए या पार्लियामेंट ऐसा प्रोवाइड करे। दिस इज व्हाट इट सेज। अब आप बताओ अनिमेश क्या कह रहे थे?
सर एक्चुअली क्या है ना कि जो लक्ष्मीकांत है उसमें ये लिखा हुआ है कि एक्सटेंट ऑफ एग्जीक्यूटिव पावर ऑफ यूनियन एंड स्टेट, तो जो भी इसमें चेंजेस होंगे वो स्पेशल मेजॉरिटी ऑफ पार्लियामेंट और कंसेंट ऑफ स्टेट्स के थ्रू होंगे। लेकिन आप बोल रहे हैं कि 73(2) जो है दैट इज डिसाइडेड बाय सिंपल मेजॉरिटी ओनली।
हाँ, अब जो एक्चुअली 73(1) जो है उस मैटर में स्पेशल मेजॉरिटी होगी, ठीक है? बट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट 73 क्लॉज 2।
ओके सर, वही मतलब मैं पूछ रहा हूँ 73(1) जो है दैट इज ओनली स्पेशल मेजॉरिटी वाला पार्ट है
ना। एंड 73(2) says that it retains certain executive powers in the states and their officer until parliament otherwise provides. इतना है बस 73(2) में। समझ में आ गया?
So,
yes मेधा।
yes, sir. Sir, it has been stated that health is under state list and talks are underwent कि इसको concurrent में करना चाहिए।
हेल्थ स्टेट लिस्ट में है?
Yes, sir. Public health, sanitation, hospitals and dispensaries.
हेल्थ और पब्लिक हेल्थ, देयर इज अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन हेल्थ एंड पब्लिक हेल्थ।
Yes, sir. Overall health state list में।
एक बार प्लीज चेक करो उसको।
एक्सक्यूज मी सर। सर आपने अभी ये बताया ना एजुकेशन वाला कि वो मतलब स्टेट लॉ प्रिवेल करेगा। सर कैन यू प्लीज एक्सप्लेन इट अगेन, बिकॉज समवेयर आई रेड कि यूनियन लॉ प्रिवेल करता है जब सेंटर और स्टेट में कुछ डिसएग्रीमेंट होता है, मतलब वो अलग अलग लॉ बनाते हैं। तो
now I tell you there is a difference. What I said, what you are talking about doctrine of repugnancy, okay? But what I said that there are two laws, so same laws related to education in state Okay, let's take example of education only. So parliament has come up with some law, and state legislature has come up with some laws. Okay, now what happens that in this case, the state law, the law made by the parliament shall not be applicable in state law. State law shall be applicable in parliament. I am not talking about contradiction, because when it's a contradiction, so it means the case will go to Supreme Court, and then Supreme Court will say that as per doctrine of repugnancy, the central law will prevail over the state law. Are you getting what I said?
Yes, sir.
Yes. एनीमे से एक बार इसको देख लेना, आप कंफर्म कर लेना।
हाँ ठीक है।
ठीक है, बाकी इन्होंने बोला तो है कि इसको हेल्थ को जो है कंकरेंट लिस्ट में रखना चाहिए 15th फाइनेंस कमीशन ने। ठीक है, so article 148(3), 158(3), 221(2) permit amendments by parliament of second schedule dealing with salaries and allowances of certain officers created by the constitution. So if any matter which is related to the salaries and allowance of certain officer that is created by the constitution, then it can be amended by simply by bringing a law by the parliament. All right. What is Article 1053 talks about?
Special privileges.
Special privileges for whom?
Sir, I'm not sure, but I think it's about members of parliament.
Yes. So it prescribes parliamentary privileges until it is defined by parliament. Article 124(1). It can also be simply amended by the parliament. What does it say?
There shall be a Supreme Court.
Yes. Apart from that, anything else? It says
National Judicial Appointments Commission.
no. I'm talking about 1241. Okay, it's prescribed that Supreme Court shall have a Chief Justice and 7 judges until Parliament increases the strength of the judges. So can you please tell me which law Parliament brought to increase the number of judges, and how many judges are there in Parliament? Anyone? हम लोगों ने डिस्कस करा था एनीमे से, आप बताओ।
सर नंबर ऑफ जजेस आर 34 बट लॉ अभी याद नहीं है।
Anyone else? बताओ कोई भी।
The number of judges act.
Yes. So these are the laws, apart from those laws which I have already discussed, that can be simply amended by the parliament by bringing a simple law. अभी इसमें parliament the number of judges act parliament brought, and parliament has increased number of judges from time to time. 133(3), What does this talk about?
Sir, appeal in case of civil matters.
Basically, 133 prohibits an appeal from the judgment of a single judge of a high court to the Supreme Court unless Parliament provides otherwise. So मैटर क्या है कि अगर सिंगल हाई कोर्ट की सिंगल जज ने फैसला दिया है, देन यू कांट डायरेक्टली अपील टू दी सुप्रीम कोर्ट. उसके बाद आपको हाई कोर्ट की डिवीजन बेंच में जाना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, अगर पार्लियामेंट लॉ लेकर आती है उसके लिए, तब आप सुप्रीम कोर्ट में कर सकते हो सिंगल बेंच के अगेंस्ट, अदरवाइज यू कांट. ठीक है. व्हाट डज आर्टिकल 135 टॉक अबाउट? हम लोगों ने ये सब डिस्कस किया था बहुत पहले. जो लोग यहाँ जिन्होंने पहले डिस्कशन में थे.
Sir, jurisdiction and powers of federal court under existing law by the Supreme Court.
हाँ, तो वो एक तरीके से जो जुरिस्डिक्शन ऑफ फेडरल कोर्ट है वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट को ट्रांसफर की गई है अंडर आर्टिकल 135 ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. अच्छे से सुनना आप लोग ये सब चीजें. ठीक है. नाउ व्हाट इज आर्टिकल 137 टॉक अबाउट?
The review of judgment of Supreme Court or the decision.
Review of its own judgment.
Its own judgment.
Okay. Now, what is Article 171(2) talks about?
The Legislative Council.
Yes. Composition of the State Legislative Council. What does Article 3433 talk about?
Official language.
What does it say?
Hindi our language, official language, something like that.
No, I'm talking about clause 3 of Article 343.
Okay.
This thing.
Language of Supreme Court?
That I think in under Article 348. Clause 3 of 343 provides that Parliament may by law provide for the use of English even after 15 years as prescribed in Article 343(2). उन्होंने ये बोला था ना कि जो है 15 साल के लिए इंग्लिश का यूज होगा. ठीक है, बट इसका यूज और आगे भी बढ़ाया जा सकता है अगर पार्लियामेंट चाहे तो. आज तक यूज हो ही रहा है. Article 348(1). It provides that Parliament by law provide for the use of English even of English in the Supreme Court and the High Court and the legislation until Parliament provides otherwise. जब तक पार्लियामेंट इस पे कोई लॉ लेकर नहीं आती है, till then the language of the Supreme Court and High Court will be English. What does Schedule 5 talk about?
The tribal area.
The provision related to schedule areas and schedule tribes. Administration of.
Article 5 and Schedule 5 and Schedule 6.
So Schedule 6 talks about tribal areas in Assam, Meghalaya, all that, and Schedule 5 talks about administrative of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, I think, sir. That's the difference.
Okay, so under these provision also Parliament is empowered to make laws. Okay, Parliament can amend things. Okay. इतनी चीजें आप कम से कम एटलीस्ट याद रखना. नाउ वी आर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स कैटेगरी 2 एंड कैटेगरी 3. So basically, the process to amend and adapt other provision of Indian Constitution is contained in article. Which article? Muskan, tell me which article.
Sir, can you repeat?
I'm saying the process to amend and adapt other provision of the Indian Constitution is contained in article. So the which article is this?
368.
Yes. And how many times the phrase of Article 368 had been amended so far? The phraseology of Article 368, that is my question. Anyone? अभी यूपीएससी क्वेश्चन पूछ ले आपसे यही, यूपीएससी बोल दे द फ्रेजिल. हाँ निमिष बोलो.
सर 0
ना.
Understand the question, sir.
Okay, my question is, I am giving you one statement and you have to tell me whether it's correct or incorrect. The statement is that the phrase of Article 368 has been amended thrice since the inauguration of the Constitution.
It's false, sir, not thrice.
It's a false.
Yes, sir.
Why?
I think, sir, it has been amended, just phrase has been amended once only, I think, sir.
No.
Sir, it has been amended twice, 24th and 42nd Amendment.
Yeah, exactly. So far, it has been amended twice since the inauguration of the Constitution. This is important point, and you need to remember this thing. Okay? But, हाँ. Anybody? कोई कुछ बोल रहा था? Yeah, but the basic feature of amending procedure have remained intact in spite of these changes. And the basic feature are an amendment of the Constitution can be initiated only by introducing a bill for the purpose in either House of Parliament. Okay. Second thing, after the bill is passed, now some people were asking what is basic feature. So I'm telling you this is the basic feature. When we are talking about amendment, that an amendment of the Constitution can be initiated only by introducing a bill for the purpose in either House of Parliament. Second thing, after the bill is passed by each house by a majority of its total membership and a majority of not less than 2/3 of the members of that house present and voting. And after receiving the assent of the president, the constitution stands amended in accordance with the terms of the bill. समझ में आया ये चीज सबको?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is also basic feature. First thing is that the bill has to be introduced. Without introducing bill, no amendment can take place. One thing. Second thing, if it is introduced, then it has to be passed by special majority and it has to get the assent of the President of India. Otherwise, it won't be considered amended. Third thing, to amend certain constitutional provision relating to its federal character, characterized as the entrenched provision. Entrenched provision What is this? Anyone? Anybody? Okay, I'll tell you in some time. So once again, I'll repeat for you that to amend certain constitutional provisions which are related to federal character, characterized as the entrenched provision. So those matter which are related to federal character, they are characterized as the entrenched provision. That's what I was saying. And after the bill to amend the constitution is passed by the House of Parliament, as mentioned, but before being presented to the President for his assent, it has also to be ratified by the legislature of not less than one half of the state by resolutions. Now, that's what I was telling you, that if any matter which is related to the provisions are related to federal character, then it will be it should be ratified by the legislature of states also, not less than one half of the state by resolution. Okay. Now, what are the entrenched provisions? That was my question. So these entrenched provisions are the manner of election of the president under Article 54 and 55. Manner of the election of president under Article 45 and 55. So these are federal in character. ये matter, ये जो subjects हैं, ये जो चीजें मैं whatever I am going to write, these are federal in the nature. Second thing, extent of the executive power of union and the states under Article 73 and 162 respectively. All right. Supreme Court and the High Court, Article 124 to 147. Apart except,
Sir,
yes.
the screen is not visible.
The screen is not visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now it is?
No, sir.
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No.
क्या हो रहा है? Okay. इतना आपको क्लियर हो गया ना, ये सब फेडरल मैटर है, क्योंकि व्हेनेवर यू आर राइटिंग अबाउट रीडिंग अबाउट फेडरलिज्म, एटलीस्ट ये आपको हेल्प करेगा, ये सब चीजें आपको अगर याद रहेगी. दो मैटर्स, आई हैव टोल्ड यू टू मैटर्स, व्हाट आर दे? बताइए.
Sir, Article 54, 55 and 73 and 162.
हाँ. What does 162 says?
Sir, executive power of state.
Executive power or extent of executive power?
Yeah, it is extent of.
अरे एक्चुअली ये पता नहीं क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रही है. ये स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं हो रही है ना?
No, sir.
No, sir.
नेटवर्क पता नहीं क्या दिक्कत कर रहा है, लाइन पर है ना। अभी आया ना शेयर, अभी दिख रहा है स्क्रीन?
यस सर।
Yes,
ठीक है। These are two matters, and next one is Supreme Court and High Court. Article 1, Supreme Court 124 to 147, and High Court 214 to 231. Okay, except 1241. So this is one exception. Next matter is the scheme of distribution of legislative power, taxing, and administrative powers between the union and the state. And these provisions come under the Article 244, from 245 to 255. Next one is representation of the states in parliament. Next one is Article 368 itself. So these are the matters in which state government's approval is needed. The parliament will have to send a resolutions for the state also. ठीक है ना आपको ये समझ में आ गया कितने मैटर हैं? सुप्रीम कोर्ट, हाई कोर्ट related matters related to distribution of legislative, taxing, and administrative power between the union and state, representation of state in parliament, Article 368 itself, the manner of election of the president, Article 54 and 55, and extent of the executive power of union and states, Article 73 for union and 162 for states. So the procedure to amend these entrenched provision is in conformity with the federal principle, which requires the consent of the state legislature, also to any amendment which vitally affects federalism, in which both the center and the state are interested. So there are certain matters in which state and center, both of them are interested, then those matter will also go for the approval of the states. कितनी स्टेट्स को अप्रूव करना पड़ेगा उसको?
हाफ ऑफ द स्टेट्स।
हाफ।
पक्का?
यस सर।
आप कह रहे हो कि हाफ ऑफ द स्टेट को अप्रूव करना पड़ेगा, राइट? Now we'll talk about Article 368 of the Constitution. So anyone, if you can tell me. Article 368 of the Constitution. What does it say?
Power
Sir,
power of Parliament to amend the Constitution.
So if I say that Article 368 only talks about power of Parliament to amend the Constitution, then this statement is correct or incorrect?
Sir, incorrect.
Incorrect.
Why?
Procedure also, sir. Procedure also.
Okay. What does it say?
sir, power of the Parliament to amend the Constitution and the procedure thereof.
Okay. What does 368(1) says?
Sir, simple majority clause.
Addition, amendment can be made through these three ways. There may be addition, there may be variation, there may be repeal. Okay. So if any of these things are taking place in Constitution, then it will be considered amendment. Okay. First thing. So it says simply that Parliament may exercise its constituent power to amend the Constitution by way of addition, variation, or repeal any provision of the Constitution in accordance with the procedure laid down in this article. Okay, this is 368(1). Now we'll talk about 368(2). 368(2) simply says that an amendment of this Constitution may be initiated only by the introduction of a bill for the purpose in either House of Parliament. Is this part of basic structure or not? Whatever I said right now.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And when the bill is passed in each house, by what majority it is required?
Sir, special majority and majority of 2/3 of the persons in that house and voting.
What is the meaning of this thing? Can you give some example, maybe with the help of some numbers? There are two things. Majority of the total membership of that house. One thing is that. What is the second thing?
3/4 of member present and voting.
2/3.
2/3.
2/3. Sorry, right.
2/3 of present and voting.
Okay, so these are two things. First thing says majority of the total membership of that house. So say for example, 100 people are there. So what will be the majority?
101 it should be.
How can 101 can be majority?
51.
So simple, sorry, simple. 151, sir.
Not 151, only 51.
Only 51. Sorry, sir.
My question was that if there are 100 members only in that house, then the majority will be 51, right?
Right.
Now consider 100 member only. Tell me about this thing. Who is going to tell me?
100 and the two-third present and voting. 67.
56.66.
You are saying 66.66. So you are considering that 100 members are present, right? That's what you are saying.
Yes,
Yes,
if
sir.
they are present, and it should be more than 66.6. Can 67 it should be, sir. Present and voting if they are.
So 100 members are already there. 100 are in the house, and 100 are actually present and voting.
Then
100% presence is there,
so it
and
should be
100% are
67.
voting.
67, sir. It should be 67. Then.
Okay, it is 67. So what should be the majority in that case?
51 only.
67.
67.
So 51.
You're saying 51. पक्का?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. 51 it will be.
अच्छा मान लो कि अभी 100 इसमें मेंबर हैं, बट 90% होते, तब इसकी मेजॉरिटी क्या होती?
60.
60.
So 46 होता.
Animesh,
Two-third you
आप
are
बताओ.
asking. Two-third you are asking, or majority only you are asking, sir?
I am saying, see, total members are 100.
Okay.
Okay. But 90 are present and voting.
Okay. Then sir, it will be more than, I think, 60, 61, 62 it should be, sir. Two-third, if in respect of the two-third if we talk, sir.
So okay, so 60 are two-third. 60 will be two-third. Okay.
Then it should be 61, sir. Then.
But what will be the majority in that case?
51 only.
So it will then 51 only, sir, because the 100 is there, no, so the strength is 100.
Not 100. अभी 90 आए हैं. 90 100
sir,
total
you are
है.
saying 90 present and no, sir, but the strength is 100.
Yeah, strength is 100, but 90 are present.
So sir, in special majority we count the how much that present are there, but in absolute majority we don't count that, no, sir. We will direct go for the majority only, no. 100 then 51 like that we will go.
See, I said there are two things. One thing is that by a majority of total membership of that house, and it is and, it's not or, it is and. So this condition should also be fulfilled. समझ में आ रहा है आपको?
Okay.
51 तो ये आपका हो गया, ठीक है?
Sir.
But it is saying and means this condition also should be fulfilled. So that is my question. See, for example, यहाँ तो आपका 51 clear हो गया, तो it's a very simple thing. But my question is that a majority of not less than two-third of the members of that house present and voting. समझ में आ रहा है? जो हाउस में 2/3 लोग हैं वो प्रेजेंट है होना चाहिए और उन्हीं की मेजॉरिटी होनी चाहिए. यही कह रहा है ना ये?
Right.
So what will be the majority?
67.
67 तो गुनी 2/3 हो गया ना इसका. 90 जो लोग हैं.
Like we consider this majority as well, like the 2/3 of
Yes, sir, it has to be 67.
members are present and voting. और अगर हम करेंगे नहीं, then what's the sense of putting this clause?
नहीं, आप इसको एक बार फिर से पढ़ो ना, बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ो इसको. Just break each and everything and इसको अच्छे से पढ़ो कि क्या कह रहा है. That's what I want you to understand. क्योंकि अगर आपको ये समझ में आ गया, हो गया आपका. ये बहुत सिंपल चीज़ है, ठीक है? यही चीज़ है जिसमें थोड़ा सा लोग घूम जाते हैं, जबकि है कुछ नहीं इसमें.
So if 100 are there, then it should be of 2067 only. It should be, sir, because you told it is n only, na.
I said 90 are present.
Then it should be 61 only, sir. Majority will be also 61 only.
अभी कुछ ऐसे नहीं कर रहा है कि जो 2/3 प्रेजेंट है और जो वोट कर रहे हैं उनकी मेजॉरिटी, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
That's what it is saying. गुनीब?
Yes, sir.
यही कह रहा है ना
हाँ जी सर.
कि जो 2/3 प्रेजेंट है और वोट कर रहे हैं उन्हीं की मेजॉरिटी.
Yes, sir. So, sir, we'll be considering the 61 value.
Yes, I was
No,
getting
sir.
confused on that. I was understanding it or only. That's why I was getting confused with and not both.
No, it's not or, it's and.
And only.
बताओ आप लोग किसका क्या मत है? 51. I am giving you
51.
3 options. Okay, let me give options. सेकेंड ऑप्शन क्या था? क्या बोला था आप लोगों ने वैल्यू? 66 है ना?
66.
अच्छा.
100. 67 sir. We told 67.
मतलब अभी हम कंसीडर कर रहे हैं कि 90 लोग ये वहां, ठीक है? 90% एंड आर वोटिंग.
Okay. So you asking for the majority only, not the majority.
हाँ, एंड दूसरा 31. क्या होगा करेक्ट आंसर? पीपल 90 पीपल आर प्रेजेंट एंड वोटिंग. और
51.
46. 4 ऑप्शन है आपके पास.
I will go with B, sir.
Okay. Animes
51.
51. Animes 51. चिरंजीवी 66. और कोई है? साक्षी 66. कारगी 67. 66 67 समझ लो वही है, सेम चीज है. सतीश is saying 51. अभी कल के लिए आपके पास ये क्वेश्चन है, इस पे अच्छे से रिसर्च करना और आप आंसर बता देना, ठीक है? नहीं तो कल मैं बता दूंगा इसका आंसर.
सर
what is the So what is the total membership?
टोटल 100 है, ठीक है? और इस केस में 90% है. प्रेजेंट जो है वो 90 है. 10 पीपल आर मिसिंग.
हेलो सर, मुझे इसमें एक डाउट है. जैसे कोई एमपी है, वो प्रेजेंट है हाउस में, बट वो क्या वोट, मतलब उसको वोट करना जरूरी है कि यस या नो?
हाँ, प्रेजेंट एंड वोटिंग. It has no option like present or voting. It is saying present and voting. So he should present and he should vote also.
मतलब अगर मैं इस आपकी इस केस की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं जनरलाइज अगर किसी अमेंडमेंट की बात करें तो अगर कोई एमपी अगर पार्लियामेंट में बैठा है वहां पर, तो उसको वोट करना ही पड़ेगा, या तो फेवर में अगेंस्ट में, राइट?
नहीं, अगर वो वोट नहीं करेगा तो उसको प्रेजेंट नहीं माना जाएगा. सिंपल हो गया.
अच्छा.
हाँ, जैसे होता ना वॉकआउट कर गए लोग, तो हो सकता कि वो लोग वहीं बैठे रहे बट वो वोटिंग में पार्टिसिपेट ना करें.
ठीक है सर.
Okay, my question is that if there is any amendment, whether it will be applicable on Article 13 or not. Abhi, if we are making any amendment under Article 368, then those amendments will be applicable for Article 13 or not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Pakka?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
चाहे वो बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर भी खराब कर दें।
No, no, sir.
No, sir.
Basic.
So can you please repeat the question?
My question was that if there is any amendment which was made under Article 368, then can it affect Article 13 also, or ये जो है वो will it be applicable on Article 13 also? That was the question.
Sir, Article 13.
So in Article 13, like no law can be made which can abridge of Part 3 of the Constitution, sir. So I think if it is hampering the basic structure, sir, then it can't be, sir, I think.
Yes.
Sir, according to Shankari Prasad, fundamental rights are amendable.
Yes. So fundamental rights, as per Shankari Prasad, as per Keswan Bharti also, fundamental rights are
24th
amendable.
Constitutional Amendment, like this could be also via 24th Constitutional Amendment Act, na?
However, there cannot be, they cannot change the basic structure of the constitution. और आपको समझना पड़ेगा basic structure क्या है, क्योंकि उसकी there is no clear cut definition of basic structure of the constitution. ठीक है? अब जैसे कि there are और अभी how many times Article 368 had been amended so far?
So two
times, sir.
अच्छा, फर्स्ट टाइम कब हुआ था?
So 1951.
नहीं.
Oh, sorry, sir. That was first constitutional amendment.
Just are you there?
24th Amendment Act.
Yeah, 24th Amendment Act. Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
You are asking about the 24th Amendment, right?
Yes.
That was in 1971. Yeah.
Yeah, that was in 1971. And what change they have made in 24th Amendment?
The president has to give permission for constitutional amendment.
Sir, that parliament has power to abridge any of the FRs.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else?
So it can dilute the fundamental rights, I think.
अच्छा, आप लोगों ने वो तो have you read that case which I have given to you?
Sir,
higher volume. अनिमिस आपने क्या बोला था प्रेसिडेंट का जो?
Sir, president has to give his consent for constitutional amendment bill compulsorily.
अच्छा. So basically 24 is related to procedure for amendment of the constitution. तो जो अनिमेश ने बोला प्रोसीजर में ही आ जाता है वो प्रेसिडेंट वाली चीजें हैं और भी थोड़ी बहुत चीजें. सो we'll discuss 24 also because that is also one important. So अभी क्या था कि it has been amended twice. ये चीज याद रखना. और concept like secularism, democracy, separation of power of judicial review fall outside the scope of amendatory powers of parliament under article 368. अगर आपसे क्वेश्चन आ जाए and if the question is asking that parliament has power to bring law with regard to separation of power under article 368 of the constitution, ठीक है, ए स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट होगा और इनकरेक्ट होगा?
No, sir. Like incorrect hoga.
Okay, my next question is that, and I'll ask that Parliament has power to abridge the power of judicial review under Article 368 of the Constitution, and Satish, you answer it. This statement is correct or incorrect? Are you there, Satish?
Hello, sorry.
Yeah, now
Yeah,
you are audible.
that would be incorrect.
Okay. Uh, all right. So now there are one other thing also that while some features are capable of being amended by Parliament pursuant to the amending power granted under Article 368 of the Constitution, the essential feature, the basic feature of the Constitution is beyond such power of Parliament, and the power to make changes to the basic structure of Constitution based only in the people sitting as a nation through its representative in Constituent Assembly. It was it was told by the Supreme Court under Article GBK Industries, sorry, in the case of GBK Industries versus Income Tax Officer case. Okay, so Parliament cannot amend those things which are basic in the nature. It can only be done by the Constituent Assembly. ठीक है? Okay, so in 1976, two clauses had been added in Article 368. So which amendment came in 1976?
Sir, 40 and 42nd also.
Yes, 40. So 42nd, and it was the 42nd amendment which added two clauses in Article 368, and first clause जो था वो था 368(4). What does 368(4) say? इसको आप लोग पढ़ना 368, प्लीज रीड 368(4). इसके अलावा एक क्लॉज और ऐड किया था, दैट वाज 368(5). ये दोनों आप लोग कल पढ़ना, एंड यू हैव टू टेल मी अबाउट दिस थिंग। अनिमेश आप 368(4) एक्सप्लेन करेंगे, एंड सतीश यू विल एक्सप्लेन 368(5). ओके, बाकी हम लोग कल डिस्कस करते हैं, जो केस बचा है अभी तो आज नहीं हो पाएगा। सो टुमारो वील डिस्कस केस एंड विल बी डन विद अमेंडमेंट। एक आपको क्वेश्चन दे दूं कल के लिए?
यस सर।
यस सर।
अच्छा, बाकी आपने जो द आंसर विच यू हैव रिटन, जिन लोगों ने दोज हु हैव सबमिटेड बिफोर 11 दे विल गेट देयर रिव्यू टुमारो, एंड जिन्होंने नहीं किया है तो जिन्होंने बाद में सबमिट किया है तो वो आज सबमिट करें नया क्वेश्चन। बट अभी आई वांट रिव्यू, या तो आप लोग टाइम पे करो चीजें या बिल्कुल मत करो। Can you see the question?
The goal specified in the plan. Yes, sir.
Let me increase the size of font. Now can you see it?
Yes, sir.
So the question is that the goals specified in the preamble contain the basic structure of the Constitution, which cannot be amended under Article 368 of the Constitution. Analyze the statement in the light of leading cases decided. ठीक है? और इसके प्रीवियस ईयर के कुछ क्वेश्चन हैं जो मैं आपको बता देता हूं जो पूछे हैं यूपीएससी ने. आपको इज इट विजिबल? आपको दिख रहा है?
नो सर, कैन यू जूम इट आउट अ बिट?
अभी दिखा है?
यस सर, यस सर.
थोड़ा सा इंक्रीज द साइज. अभी दिखा आप लोगों को? So in 2019 they have asked this question. Parliament's power to amend the constitution is a limited power and it cannot be enlarged into absolute power. In the light, कल कुछ क्वेश्चन दिया था मैंने, ऐसी कुछ था ना?
यस सर.
यस सर.
कल का ये था ना कि पावर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट टू अमेंड द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज वाइड बट नॉट अनलिमिटेड.
हाँ यस सर.
डू यू एग्री? तो इसी टाइप का क्वेश्चन था, ठीक है. सो इट इज सेइंग पार्लियामेंट्स पावर टू अमेंड द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज लिमिटेड पावर एंड इट कैन नॉट बी एनलार्ज्ड इनटू एब्सोल्यूट पावर इन द लाइट ऑफ स्टेटमेंट एक्सप्लेन वेदर पार्लियामेंट हैज पावर. ठीक है. सो आई हैव सिंपली आस्क्ड डू यू एग्री विद दिस थिंग. और अभी आज वाला जो क्वेश्चन है वो बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर से रिलेटेड है, मतलब इसका ब्लेंड है. कल वाला और आज वाला जो है एक तरीके से ब्लेंड है. द गोल्स स्पेसिफाइड. आप लोगों ने नोट डाउन कर लिया ना? डिड यू नोट डाउन दिस क्वेश्चन? यहां से आप कॉपी कर लो, मैंने भेज दिया है क्वेश्चन. हाँ निमेश, आप बताओ आप कैसे लिखोगे इसको?
सर वी कैन टॉक अबाउट वो फीचर्स ऑफ प्रीएम्बल लाइक सेक्युलरिज्म, सोवरेनिटी, तो जो कि मतलब बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के जिसको नहीं ले सकते हैं, उनके बारे में थोड़ा सा बता दें.
तो अब जैसे अगर आप ये बोल रहे हो तो हम लोग कोई केस कोट नहीं कर सकते जिसमें सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा है कि ये सब जो फीचर्स हैं, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल हम लोगों ने सॉवरेनिटी की बात की या सेक्युलरिज्म की बात, तो कैन वी से दिस थिंग दैट दीज आर द बेसिक फीचर एंड दीज आर सम प्रिंसिपल व्हिच आर फेडरल इन द नेचर एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज सेड दैट इन द पर्टिकुलर केस, दिस केस जो भी केस है, ठीक है, कि ये सब बेसिक फीचर हैं. जैसे केस वर्णन भारती में ही बोला था और दूसरा केस तो छोड़ ही दो अभी, है ना?
हाँ सर.
कि ये जो है बेसिक फीचर, तो आप उसमें इंट्रोडक्शन में थोड़ा सा लिखने के बाद उसको कोट कर देना, तो उससे आपका जो है ना जो पॉइंट्स हैं उनको थोड़ा सुप्रीम कोर्ट वाला और वो मिल जाएगा कि भाई सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी बोला है, और फिर आप अपने हिसाब से चीजें लिख सकते हो. ठीक है.
तो मिनर्वा मिल्क को केस कैन बी कोट सर? मिनर्वा
हाँ बिल्कुल, यस यस यस, दैट कैन बी डन. दैट इज आल्सो लैंडमार्क केस.